people lose the sight of that the game that we play now as a professional was all made up about just having fun. Like, you can't forget the love of the game that it sparked as a young kid, just being a youth and being a guy that comes from the inner city of Los Angeles.
100%, man. That's something that you said, for the love of the game. And I think that's funny because at the end of the day, growing up playing sports, it ain't no pressure. You just doing it, for that love of it. But a lot of times, you get to the professional sports and media, it'll start to make you seem like, as the athlete, as the bad guy. When it's like, man, I'm just playing this game that I love to play. And that's
Right.
just like business. Anytime money is involved, things change. And that's why I wanted to speak with you, because at the end of the day, you've been in the league for, over 8 years. You've been one of those guys that have always been a household name, has always been a stud, always, spoke your truth.
Right.
Would you say that speaking your truth for the love of the game can sometimes have people look at you a different way? And how do you feel about that? Speak your truth and get scolded for it, or not say nothing and just let it go under the wind?
I think as a professional athlete, I feel like you have a voice, right? And when I say you have a voice to be heard. I think it's almost like a persona that we have to kind of, like, like the lady said, shut up and dribble to LeBron. You get what I'm saying? I think it's like we're so stuck in a phase that a professional athletes getting paid so much money, and they're able to take care of their families, they're able to do X, Y, and Z, right? But at the end of the day, I've earned that right. It wasn't just given to me. It wasn't just handed it to me. You get what I'm saying? So perception of the reality is we have a voice. Use your voice. You're a powerful individual. You know, each and each and every one of us come from a different background, first and foremost. We all don't come from the same background. Like how you was raised and how I was raised is two different forms. We might have a lot of similarities, but
Yep.
I think it's no one form kind that an individual are exactly alike, and that's why I've branded myself as being one of one, because I feel like I'm unique. There's no other me, regardless of whoever you can name in the NFL that's doing things that I've done. Still, only one Deshaun Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Didn't make it to where I'm at today and change or turn my back on the people that was in the mud with me. And I like to say the mud because before I was a celebrity, or before I was a superstar, before I was a Pro Bowl NFL wide receiver, I was Deshaun Jackson that hanged out in the
For
block, that
sure.
hanged out in the hood. Like you said,
For
the
sure.
baggy clothes, sagging my pants. You get what I'm saying? That was me,
Yeah.
bro. I just like to be authentic to me. And it's like, I feel like at a time when you're a professional athlete, they want to take you away from that. They don't want you to be the real you. They don't want you to speak your real truth. And that was hard for me because I was faulted for, my upbringing and the people I hung around, and, the things I've done. Kept my same day ones around me, bro. And I was faulted for it.
For me, I played basketball at University of Miami. I got drafted in 2009. My career didn't go the way I wanted to go, and I didn't. I only played for 3 years, but I retired and I jumped into media and business. Look at shit from a totally different perspective, because as an athlete, you don't have time to think about media, branding. You gotta make sure you right when you're in your shit, because if you don't perform, you're not going to get paid.
Definitely.
And you're one of those guys that I follow a lot because, like you said, you're one on one. I love guys that empower and say, you know what, man, I am who I am. I'm going to be who I am. It's just because you're an athlete in a high position, you can't be who you are. And I saw you be yourself, and I looked at it from a different perspective of like an ordinary person from the outside looking in, and how media is. I said, oh, Deshaun Jackson is saying his truth, but with him saying his truth, the media is just going to flip it to make a story. I know you. I know you would never say anything malicious or anything. So it resonated to me. It's like, damn, man, it sucks to almost be an African American athlete right now, because you can't be yourself. Because now, if you look at sports and media, there's not as much sports. Games is getting canceled. So now the media is looking for a story. If
Right.
they can find a professional athlete with a voice, and not
Mhm.
saying just you, there's tons of people that use their platform as a voice. They're going to flip that and make their own story. And I want to come here and talk to you and say that I'm glad that you don't allow the media to manipulate and dictate what you're going to say. And I think there's more and more athletes that are speaking up and speaking about their truths, because at the end of the day, you can't tell athletes to be inspiration to kids and do these things if you're trying to make them something that they're not. You didn't make it to the league by being some fugazi ass motherfucker. You got to the league
Right.
by being D-Jack, staying true to what you believe in. And at the end of the day, yeah, some people say you get to the league, you got to cut your circle small or whatever that is. But it's like, you can't tell one person what to do if you don't know what they're going through, what they came from.
Professional sports has came down to so much of and there's nothing wrong with it. You know,
Yes,
it's
for
more of
sure.
a what have you done for me lately league. You know, I'm hurt right now. So if I sit back and make a soundbite or, you know, they say clickbait, or if I say some shit and they go put it out there, it's like
Why you ain't working out? Why you not in the
instead of him
gym?
focus on, you know, getting
Exactly.
better and rehabbing, he's sitting around
Exactly.
talking about this. But at the end of the day, once again, it goes back to we have a voice, we have a life, we have a life outside of football. So it's like
Exactly.
if I was to sit around here and just football shit 24 hours, like what is my life about? Me, man, I think the biggest thing I can say about that is, you know, it's okay to have hobbies. It's okay to have extra
Yeah.
criteria, wants and needs and desires that you want to have out your life. And if you have a passion for something, if it could be playing a video game, it could be rapping, it could be taking online classes for a degree or for, you know, something you want to get as far as a degree. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, put
Exactly.
your best foot forward to do that.
I got a question for you because, like I said, I always have a different perspective of being an athlete, right? So I look at an athlete like we could take any athlete. You get hurt, right? And when you get hurt, a team is paying you a lot of bread. So it's like, look, the team wants you to come back and they want you to get back as fast as possible. And it may not always be like the right decision for you as Desean Jackson to come back in like 6 to 8 weeks. Even though he said it's 6 to 8 weeks, you might need 8 to 16 weeks, right?
Right.
So it's crazy that a lot of times I always feel like you're like in a double negative. If a player gets hurt, and we live in a league where, like you said, what have you done for me lately? If you get hurt, they automatically looking who's another fast wide receiver that we can get in
Mhm.
just in case Desean does not make it back. And Desean may come back a little earlier because you know what? Desean don't want to lose his job to like the next young up and coming guy in a world now where what have you done for me lately? And if you think about media now, there's so much media happening at a rapid pace. They're going
Yeah.
to forget what you did 2 years ago. What have you done for me lately also resonates to media. Like, what have you showed me lately in media? Like, if I ain't seen no Deshaun highlights yesterday from him playing, I'm going to go to what's present and what's in the now. Great that what you're doing and talking in the media because now the fact that you're not playing, this is your playing field. You're a fucking CEO, bro.
No,
That's the
definitely.
thing that they don't tell you. You're a
You
CEO.
you gotta invest in yourself, because if you don't invest in yourself, who's gonna invest into you for you? Double down betting on yourself, bro. And that's been my mentality since day one. And I think the criteria of that is like you're not gonna be able to play professional sports forever. You get what I'm
You're not.
saying? So in reality, you know, while I'm in it, I'm in it. Don't get me wrong. I work my ass off. You know, off season,
100%.
regular season, during season,
Bro, you
like
work harder than anybody I've ever seen, bro. There's been times where you FaceTime me at 3 in the morning, bro, and you weightlifting, you jogging, you like, yo, Jack, man, I can't sleep, I'm working, and
for
it's like
sure.
the average person wouldn't see that
They
three in the
don't.
morning
And they
call
don't
lifting,
see that. Right.
but and at the end of the day, if you go on media and you show that, they're gonna be like, oh, Deshaun Jackson just trying to show off that he working
Right.
out. It's like
Yeah.
you can't win.
Ain't win at
you
all.
you can't win.
Nah,
It's like a
definitely.
double negative. And one of my biggest mentors told me is that when you get to the position and you understand who you are and you realize that you can never fail and you'll never get it done, there's
Right.
no pressure. It's like laundry. You're never going to get your laundry wrong and you're never going to get your shit done because today you're going to throw some shit in the laundry. He was doing the rapping shit when it wasn't a thing. Now it's okay to be a rapper in sports.
It's one of those things where if you have a passion for them, do what you wish. You get what I'm saying? And not everyone's able to do that, because you have guys that come in the league that might be a second rounder or a free agent. You get what I'm saying? And they might have an interest of really rapping. It's like the team sees that, then they're like, no, we don't want him on our team. You get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I like, for me, it kind of just took to the point where uh I focused on it behind closed doors. And then when I mean, because I came in, you know, being a starter, second round, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I came in feeling like I was that dude, regardless. You know, I put
Yeah.
the work in and I showed it on the field. So for me, it was a little different. But even though I rapped and, you know, had the record labels and I had the entourage and did all that shit, like, I didn't really press play on it until I felt like in my career I was like up, I needed to secure my
Yeah.
earnings. You get what I'm saying? It was just certain shit
Yeah.
that I was like, I don't want to just jump out there and let them know that
100%.
this is what I'm on, because they can snatch it from me type shit. So
Yep.
like I had to align all my, you know, they say cross your T's and dot your I's, you know what I'm saying? And that's, for me, that's what it was on the music shit. So I didn't release my first album until this past summer. You get what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
12
Exactly.
years. But I had
Exactly.
artists that it
But
was
you had it.
rapping and did other things and put music out, but it was like I was kind of like more back line. I wasn't like front line like I kind of am now. So
100%.
for me, like my thing is, man, you got a passion for music, man. Like regardless of being a professional athlete, how it's gonna look crazy. I mean, do what you wish, bro.
Yeah.
That's the problem we have nowadays. Like you got to be happy. Like regardless of
You
what you
got to be
do, be
happy.
happy, man. And even if people don't like it, so fuck what? Still do
Yeah.
whatever makes you happy. Do what make you happy, and that's my
100%.
I stand on that.
It's a Drake line. I don't like. I'm not that guy that's like a bring a Drake line in. But it's one of the lines that he says is, soon as I start having fun with it, I'm done with it. Like for example, me, I was playing basketball. I got drafted in 2009 by the Spurs, second round. I got my jersey retired at Miami. All ACC. I've done huge things. I played overseas for 3 years, didn't make the league, and I'm like, man, this basketball shit cool, but I'm not having fun with this shit no more. So you know what? I
Right.
dropped it and jumped right into CEO mode. Right. Those are the things that the leagues don't teach you because if 450 players in the NBA were CEOs, boy, oh boy, that's going to put a lot of pressure on that league itself because these players will look at themselves as a boss, as a manager of their lives and not an athlete. Imagine if 3,000 players in the NFL was like, yo, we CEOs, every 3,000, let's put up $2,000 a piece and we're going to start this fund. And all the players can say, yeah, we're going to create a Nerf football, our own version. If all 3,000 players invested in that Nerf ball and said, we're going to do one video a month, bro, it'll be $1 billion company.
I was just talking to somebody about that. It's not enough real ones that want to do that, bro. It's too
Explain
many. It's too many
that.
of them that I'm like, I'm getting my 50 million and my family taken care of. I'm straight. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't look at it for the culture. They don't look at it for the young dudes coming up under them. You get what I'm saying? It's like more of like I'm getting my
Why
dough.
is
I'm
that
straight.
though?
It's the
Why do you think
mentality,
that
bro.
is?
It's not like the NBA. I was telling somebody that, but shit, I think it was you when we was talking about that this offseason during quarantine when we
Oh yeah,
got
we was.
on live. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's not enough real like the NBA. You got LeBron. You got all these Chris Paul. You got certain dudes that stand up for the culture that are in the NFL. You don't have like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. All these dudes. It's a different culture. They make their money and they go invest in what they invest in. They take care of their people, but it's like it's not many of us that's gonna stand on the same platform and say, all right, owners, if y'all want to be on that, us players, we're gonna be on this. Y'all want to start whatever y'all start, but that's why the NBA, the commissioners, they understand that what the players doing, what the players mean. So once the
yep,
players be on some bullshit, they like, all right, what we got to do? We're gonna
exactly,
adjust and we're gonna make a different
exactly.
narrative out the situation.
Like I said, D-Jack, I always look at stuff from a whole different perspective, not from an athlete. Like for example, like you said earlier, you and I grew up differently. Like I'll speak on that because I grew up. My father and my mom, we grew up. They grew up in Baltimore City. I don't know. You probably saw The Wire and all that shit. Whatever. That's what that is. But when I was born, we lived in the suburbs. So
Right.
like I went to school in the suburbs. But when I went to go hoop, I was in the inner city playing against them niggas. Like them niggas. It don't matter. We don't care where you from. Off with your head. So I
Right.
have that balance of seeing both, and I look at the NFL as a very like old school thought process thinking league because it's all
Sure.
American sport. It's
Sure.
middle America. Everybody's watching football Sunday.
Right.
But basketball you see is more of like the cultural sport, and it's in media as the cultural sport. So shout out to Adam Silver identifying and seeing that like, yo,
Exactly.
we're culture. I have to as a commissioner change
Mhm.
that, and I can see how Goodell football ain't really like culture like that. So
It
he
ain't.
don't have to make that radical move yet. So I think it's guys like yourself stand up for what you believe in, and not in a way where it's like you're downgrading the NFL. Just like do what you love to do because D-Jack, you're inspiring a nigga in college right now that probably wants to do a podcast or wants to be a rapper or shit just wants to fucking be the same special team player, receiver type player as you. It's like the NFL don't see that. So for
Right.
you, I think it's steadfast for you to continue doing what you're doing, bro, because you're inspiring a lot of people. Like people don't see the stuff that you do on Christmas and the holidays, giving back to tons of the youth. Do you ever feel like you want to push that narrative more? Because we've had conversations like, man, I don't do it for people to see it. I do it out of the love of my heart. Then it's
Right.
like you do something, then the media goes, oh, Deshaun don't do nothing for his hood. It's like, come on.
Right.
Like,
No,
what do you
definitely.
say to younger kids coming up that want to do and do things for their community?
Far-fetched, bro, because at the end of the day, you could always have good intentions. You could always mean well, right? And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you don't get your credit for it. So as far as the publicity stunt or showing it off, like for me, that's never been an interest because I know where my heart is, if that makes sense. I was once one of them kids that was in the positions, in the poverty, in the slums, didn't really have a dollar. You feel me? Mom's pop struggling to put food on our plates. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, it's a bigger passion. And to answer your question, do I see myself pushing that envelope even further? I have a lot of work that's kind of up under my sleeves right now that I'm just rolling them up and eventually breaking the ice on them. But
Got it.
I have my own Pop Warner football youth team.
Yeah.
Travel trips.
Yeah.
Going to Florida. Multiple jerseys. You know, experiences, man. Because I feel like as
Yeah.
a kid, man, like to be a young kid, and for me, I had experiences, but I didn't have the experiences that I'm giving my youth kids. You get what I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying?
exactly.
So for
100%.
me, it's bigger than me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's my
100%.
motive. That's my passion. So to talk about that briefly, man, like the young kids this out there that's listening, or the young kids that wants to be the next D-Jack, don't be the next me. Be better than me. Like
Be better than you.
I
Yeah.
want my young boys, speaking on my personal kids, to be way better than the
Yeah.
actual foundation landmark. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like my dad, my brothers, they laid that they laid the blueprint down as like
Yeah.
what I like to call it. The blueprint was laid for me. It was up
Yep.
to me to follow that
To
blueprint.
follow
You
it.
get what I'm saying? And if
Yeah.
I didn't follow that blueprint, I wouldn't have been sitting here in front of your face right now talking to you about A to Z. You get what I'm saying? And
100%.
I ain't even at Z yet, bro. I still feel
Yeah.
like I'm in the middle of the alphabet, bro, because I have so many
100%.
desires and I have so much more I want to accomplish. But on a bigger note, bro, like I'm working on a facility, having my own facility where
Mm.
it hosts basketball, baseball, football. Kids get out of school, they got
They come
tutors, they
there.
got nutritionists, they got batting cages, they have basketball, they got
Yeah.
field work. You get what I'm saying? Like an all-in-one exclusive place where people could come train. And it's not only about the sports, it's about getting the curriculums down. It's about your
Yeah.
passions, your desires, the beliefs. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's really like a mentality to this shit, bro, that I have a lot of game that I want to get back to the youth, bro. And my career being the Desean Jackson on the football field, bro, it goes way beyond that, bro. And I just get frustrated sometimes because oh, he's not doing this and get back on the field. But it's like, bro, my mark is way bigger than anything that
Yeah.
football field can do, bro. That shit
100%.
doesn't measure me, bro. Like, of course,
100%.
people are gonna know me because of that. But guess what? It was somebody before and it's gonna be somebody after, bro.
I love that you're saying that because when we do stuff with athletes and we do partnerships, like for me, I don't care how big an athlete is. I don't care about how big his brand is. I like to identify with the person. And one thing that I noticed with you is like you're kind of like selfless. And it's not a lot of people that are selfless. Like you care about others more than you care about yourself. And that goes to these trips that you're doing. That goes to these camps. That goes to you being on IG Live for 2 hours signing autographs. Like, bro, I don't play football. I'm in the basketball realm. But I always identify with the guys and the talent that are thinking outside the box. Those are the guys that I want to go get $1 billion with.
Like you got to connect dots and anything in life. Like, when we talked earlier, I kind of broke down and told my brother, like, what it was we was doing and just chopping it up and just like kind of like building each other up type shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like at the end of the
exactly.
day, I'm never no Hollywood nigga to sit here and be like, your platform ain't as big as mine. I can't come sit down and really chop it up and talk game with you. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people be stuck on that because it's like, my platform is bigger than yours, or I'm some this big person that you can't touch, or like why am I sitting in a room, or why am I rubbing elbows with somebody that may not have my bank account or my status? You get what I'm saying? I just feel like it's so fucked
Mm-hmm.
up because that's really the reality and the perception that people have and we living with, bro. But like what I was telling my brother, it's like at the end of the day, bro, when we met, right? But your
100%.
story is different from my story. But guess what? It's shit that I can learn from you. It's shit you can learn from me. And not only that,
100%.
we brothers, we black men, bro. We need to build each
Exactly.
other up, bro. And I feel like a lot of times in the black community, bro, and that's what I was speaking on when I made that post this summer that I got crucified for. It's like us as the black community and us as the culture. If we stuck together, bro, just imagine how powerful we would be, bro.
Bro, because you can't identify who's real and who's not. Yeah, I got a license with, pillows, blankets, towels, sweat equity partner with Steph Curry. I ain't going to say names, but like, it shouldn't even be a question. If I have a license as a 35-year-old African American male has a license with the biggest league in the world, bro. The NBA, like, not too many people have licenses with players' faces, their bodies, right? And in my mind, I'm like, I'm out of
Niggas
here.
fuck with it, niggas.
I get a license, it's crickets, bro.
Right.
I'm not getting no support for people that I think that I'm going to get support from because I got an NBA license.
Right.
And then I started to realize, and I started to have to tell myself, like, it's tough in the African American community because we grow up in competition.
Right.
That's first, no matter what. We're always competing. And whether you say it's my brother or not, nigga, if we get on this court, if me and you go and do some shit, we competing. It don't matter if we shooting dice, shooting hoops, or fucking doing patterns.
Right.
We're competing. And I think with African American, our community, we cannot detach from that. There's 450 players in the NBA. I could literally put a player on a fucking pillow and a blanket, all 450 players, and I don't even have to tell them because I have the license. So
that's a revenue. Niggas gotta understand they ain't even gotta put money into it. We gonna make
they gotta
money.
do nothing. Back to what you say, bro. Curry supported, he's an equity owner in the company, and like I was roommates with Steph Curry preparing for the draft, but it's like the people that were close to me and like all the homies that be asking me for clothes, saying I'm fresh as shit, congratulations on all the success. When my shit pop off, niggas is silent, but niggas don't know. Nigga, I had to pay licensing fees up front to the NBA to sell that shit.
I remember you were showing me the pillows though, and with face.
Yeah,
I remember
bro.
you showing me all that shit.
You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. But it goes back to what you said. It's almost like we're African Americans. We're in this frequency where it's never like, let me big this dude up. It's more like, what he doing? Like, I don't know if I can help him because he might get there faster than me. Or it's niggas out here with billions of dollars. Right. And as athletes, this goes to all the athletes. You know about Michael Rubin. You're with these billionaires. Sure. So you know what it is. A lot of guys, like, y'all competing over who can get to 100, 200, 300 million first. It's niggas out here with 7 billion. The reason they got to it because they came together.
I think it's a mentality to being an elite. You look at characteristics in a person, what makes somebody who they are, right? So for me to have a relationship like a Michael Rubin, like, this is a man that I legitimately have built a relationship and known 10 plus years. But from the get-go, I never really knew who he was. Like my first few years being young D-Jack, like I was just going to the game, sitting on the floor, just fucking having fun, talking shit type shit. I knew he was like part owner, but it's like my young state of mind. Like
you're not thinking about that.
I'm not thinking about that shit. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm young, I'm having fun with the homies. We on some bullshit. So it's like now, flip side, coming back to Philly, when I was with my 11th year, and it's like now sitting on the floor, it's like now my mind is thinking somewhere else, bro. So now I'm intrigued to, man, how you became a billionaire? What's some of the investments you making? Like, how do I double my money? How do you get what I'm saying? So these are questions that I've asked and we've talked about, but it's a mental standpoint, bro. It's like almost a mental toughness. It's like, how many times am I gonna fail before I really understand that failing is a part of success? Like a lot of people fail multiple times and it's like, I'm ready to quit. I'm ready to give up.
Yeah.
But the special, and going back to that elite, the special elites, that shit motivates them to another extent, bro. It's like another level. It's like, all right, I'm at this level, but nigga, how the fuck am I going to get to that next level?
Next level. 100%.
You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's 100%. The urge to want to go to the moon, bro. Set the 100%. Bar. They always say set the bar. Set the bar, right? Like you said, we compete, we having fun, or we go on the court. Who gonna be the motherfucker that's gonna set the bar? Like we all gonna be good. We all gonna have little sports, like spare times of like hitting a shot. But you know them special motherfuckers. Like you said, you knew Steph Curry. I know it was a point in time you was on the court with that motherfucker. He was making shots. You like, damn, is this motherfucker ever gonna stop? But he's to set the bar. Exactly. So if you can continuously be on some shit like that, bro, that's elite, bro. But you gotta, it's consistency, bro. It's everything, bro. And I've learned that in my career, bro. Like it's a lot of young cats to come in 1, 2, 3 years, it was good, but it's like you look up, like where the hell they go?
Consistency and knowing to identify with the motherfuckers that set the bar. Like imagine if you knew your first year in the league that Michael Rubin was this multi-billionaire businessman, and and your first year in the league are like, oh, okay, this nigga set the bar. Let me identify, because you got to think, Michael Rubin's going to want to hang around you just because he can't do what you do. Just like you want to be around him because you want to figure out how you got $1 billion. If you're popping your first year in the NBA, don't wait, or NFL, don't wait until year 6 to know the owner. Like, shake owners, become friends with the owner day one, because Ain't nobody doing it. They trying to think about playing football and basketball. Go in thinking like, I'm a CEO. I want to know the CEO, the owner of my team.
That's where I feel like a lot of guys can learn from me, is because like I was able to catch on, and I would say it's never too late. You get what I'm saying?
Never
But I
too
was
late.
at the position where I didn't catch on early enough. But that's why I feel like a lot of these young guys could learn from me, because it took me 7-8 years to really snap on, bro. Like I
Sure.
really lived the lifestyle where I was making 8-10 million, and I damn near was running through that whole money in that year. But I was living based off of knowing next year I got another 10 million coming.
Exactly.
But that's the
Exactly.
mentality that I was stuck in, and I didn't have people around me telling me like, no,
Exactly.
that 10 you getting, put 6 of it up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
Like,
could
and
have
then
put
have fun
one
with the
million up of
flow.
that 10 and made that 10 back, but you're
You know
not
what I'm
thinking that
saying,
because
bro?
it's fast money.
But
100%.
but that's why I'm telling you, bro. Like I have,
Yeah.
I got a lot of game for these young dudes to give it
Yeah.
to, because you at a point, bro, where you don't know no better, bro. Because if you're not getting the information, bro, how are you ever gonna know? Like, I surrounded myself around people that like I can trust, because it's hard to trust people, bro. I've been burnt,
100%.
bridges been burnt, like it's been all types of shit that, like people that was close to me stole from me.
When you grow up in neighborhoods like Crenshaw and you have people that, was with you from the when you was a kid, and when you make it, you got these same people that was around you when you ain't had shit, but may be into the wrong shit. You gotta you just can't like let a nigga go or just like, no, I'm done with you. It's like, how do you deal with that balance? Because there's a lot of youth and kids coming up where they come from places that aren't the best, and you got people that are in their circle for 20 years and they ain't add no value to the brand. It is an honor to be growing up in the way you came up, because
Sure.
you are almost the poster child of any other kid that comes from Crenshaw district that feels like they can't make it out. You are that shining star, and I think we need to highlight more stories like that instead of thinking about, oh, Desean Jackson said something about a different race and religion. He's the no.
Right.
Desean Jackson is doing shit in the hood.
Straight
Desean
up.
Jackson is using his voice to speak to people.
And I was gonna say, how long have you really understood or tapped into that side of it where you say you know how the media portrays?
Marshall McLuhan, Understanding Media, the Extensions of Man. And it talks about like before there was any type of printed, there was the printing press. The printing press was the thing that put print into a book. So before there was print in a book, you didn't know what a picture of anything was. So they talk about the breakdown of like all the new technologies. For example, the telegraph, the telephone, the television, how it extends you so many different ways. He started telling me, yo, read this book, start reading philosophers like Arthur Croker, William Irwin Thompson, Marshall McLuhan. And I really started looking into and reading these books on media maybe about 2 years ago. And then I fast forward to now, and everything that I was reading 2 years ago is literally factual what's happening. It talks about how the medium is the message. It talks about how, anybody could be a superstar right now. Anybody could be famous in 15 minutes, right? And I started seeing that with sports and all media kind of going a different direction, they have to, Sports Center, all these leagues, they got to do something to get people to keep watching. AA is continually, canceling games. NFL cancels games. If they ain't got no clickbait or something to watch, people gonna forget about the sport. Why do you think they put the Last Dance a couple months forward? COVID hit, there wasn't no basketball, and they was like, okay, we're moving Last Dance up a couple months. It killed, but it's like there's so much fast media now that it's easy to forget about something. Like just how they tried to crucify you or what you said. We live in a world where media is so fast. Just as fast as they crucified you, niggas forgot about it 3 days later because somebody got shot or something happened. So it's like I started understanding media. Nobody wants to hear the positive shit, bro. That don't sell tickets. That don't sell shows. Go ahead.
That's why I think people gonna fuck with what we doing, bro. Because this ain't no regular media shit,
This
bro.
ain't
This
no,
really be
yeah, we
kicking
ain't,
shit. You got the red cup, I got my can of dry. Like we really talking shit,
yeah,
bro. And it's like it ain't no script to shit. Whatever the fuck it is that I want to do, bro, I'm gonna be authentic to me, bro. And I feel
exactly.
like a lot of times, bro, this professional athlete or this platform we have to sit up on, we have to sit here and not say what the fuck we really want to say, bro. And it's like at the end of the
100%.
day, bro, that's not me. So if you
Exactly.
fuck with me for who I really am, bro. If not, so be it. I'm like, I'm not
Exactly.
hurt. I'm not pressed,
Exactly.
bro. I got enough
Exactly.
love and motherfuckers to fuck with me off the real. I do, bro, because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
bro, I feel like the more better you do for your community, for the people around you, bro, the more blessings God's gonna
That's
continuously give you,
frequency.
bro.
It's
You get
frequency.
what I'm saying?
It's all
So it's
energy.
like
Yeah, 100%.
it's like, bro, like I said, I commend you. I tap my hat off to you, bro, because I this as much as you praise me, I'm gonna give you the same praise right back, bro, because I
Yeah,
seen the shit you do as well too. You get what I'm saying? You
I
got the
appreciate that.
clothing line, you got the fashion, bro. You lacing athletes to look fly and fresh, bro, because it's a perception that we want to uphold
100%.
with being ourselves still. But
Yep.
like, shit, you got some fly shit on with a white beater, nigga. I'm still me.
Exactly. Yep.
Same nigga to go to the hood and pass
Yep.
out drives and toys and do stuff, bro. But
100%.
it's like it's not enough of that, bro. And it's like we
It's
got
not
to
enough.
continue to come together, bro, and uplift each other, bro. So
100%.
I look forward to keep doing this and just like
Hell yeah.
building, bro.
I don't want to talk about other platforms that's doing stuff in media, right? But if
Yeah.
you think about anything in media, and if you think about anybody that's doing anything in media, it's not black owned. They hire us and they pay us, and then they tell you what you can say and what you cannot say. We two guys in media, and we 100% black owned. And not
Yeah.
saying I'm against the other races, but I think it's something to say that we're two guys coming together from two different realms that you say, you know what, bro? Let's use our stories and speak our truth. Yo, so D Jack, like, we talked about the rapping stuff earlier. Like, I tapped into music a little bit. I'm not going to get into my stuff because my shit ain't ready. But I know you got full production, full studios.
Yeah.
And I know offline you've been telling me you've been working on like some new stuff. Like, do you got something in the cooker that maybe we can hear exclusive that ain't nobody heard that you can play right here?
Look, how about the new whip? Pull up in some blue shit. Blue honey smash the outfit, it ain't no counterfeit. How you supposed to get it though?
How you supposed to stack the dough?
How you supposed to flip the bread, but you ain't never won before?
Jackpot, had to hit the jackpot. Ain't in it for no cash. Get the fuck up on my stash.
Jackpot, had to hit the jackpot. Ain't in it for no
Oh, but can you ball till you fall and take it from the trenches so you fall where you start? I just got a bonus check, I split it with my dogs. I just got a bonus check, I split it with my dogs. Yeah, that jackpot. You
My
feel
boy
me?
got a
Dog?
bonus check and spent it with his dog. Shout out to everybody in the sports world that's getting a bonus check or that travel check and spending it on your dog.
You a fool.
No.
Ain't no straight line to this shit, bro. You got to
Gotta
go
get
through
it.
scribbles. You got to go through backwards flips and turns and all that shit, bro. So I'm gonna go on
100%.
and play this for my bro, man. Rest in peace, my nigga.
R.I.P. Nip.
fuck high school, I'm tryna find a lick. Yeah. Can't spell success, but I can buy six. I did. Kick me out the house and told a nigga split. Rich, gang banging music, I know my lane. Car serving off the corner was a protege. Pop the trunk and I'm manifesting my motor way.